I don't know why this woman has not deleted this post yet, but she made a post that was talking about cleanliness and saying that it was cultural, and basically saying that because Black people used to be enslaved and they were dirty, that they have embedded it in their culture that they need to be more clean. It was fucking weird. I don't know. Here's what I have to say about it. She needs to go do some research on the African Moors. African Moors went into Europe and literally told the Europeans, like, you need to bathe. There are germs. This is why you're dying. This is why you're having diseases spread like crazy. Get the animals out of your house. Like, they went and taught Europeans how to not be disgusting. Like, what are we talking about? One more thing. I really hate when people talk about Black history as if it started with slavery. Like, Africa was and is a wealthy continent and had kingdoms, and Mansa Musa was the wealthiest man in the world. They had the first major library. They had amazing architecture. They had the Dahomes, which is like the female warriors. Like, there's so much more history there that people ignore and just think everything started at slavery, and that shit drives me crazy.
The wrong way. I'm going to try and do this in the most politically correct and kind and sensitive way. I truly agree with this statement. I think cleanliness is cultural. Why? Because I think that people who are of a darker skin tone were hundreds of years ago told that they were dirty. Now, obviously that's completely racist and a terrible thing to say, but I think that it became embedded in that culture to always be clean and fresh, etc. You think about people of brown or Black skin working in fields, working as slaves, etc. Whereas white people were never told that unless they were like of a lower class or like blue collar worker. I'm not saying I agree with any of this, and I realize that this is going to probably piss a lot of people off that I'm saying this, but I'm really trying to do this from the like most politically sensitive perspective. I think there's a lot of validity in this comment, because when I think back to my parents are both white. My dad's British. My dad literally sometimes showered once a week. He's a 6'4" white British man. He's never been called dirty in his entire life. He's never been told that he was dirty. He's never been told that his skin made him dirty. My mom literally probably showers 2 to 3 times a week. I just think this is a really eye-opening comment, and I think that it's 1000% spot on. Just something to think about, that there's a lot more history and culture behind certain traditions and norms and the way people live and are raised. And it's also kind of really fucked.
Well, then let me be the first one to tell you and your mom, your dad, and everybody that looks like you that be taking one shower a week or every other month or whatever the process is. Y'all be giving wet dog when we stand next to you in the elevator. We hold our breath when y'all stand next to us. Who? And I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way and you don't take it any kind of way. But I'm just trying to make sure history records this moment, since it has never been clear in the past. And then you add in sunscreen, it be giving wet dog with sunscreen on. It be giving ass. It be giving y'all smell like outside. You know the term you smell like outside? That's what y'all give. And don't just get in the shower and let your shampoo and conditioner wash your ass. You need to get in there. You need to wash behind your knees, wash your legs, behind your ears. Again, this comment this person made was not what you just explained. They're talking about the fact that we just had adults in the house who were not afraid to tell us to get in the shower and wash our ass, because they were also used to washing their ass. Y'all parents be scared to tell you to take a shower because y'all gonna get mad and they don't want to argue with you. It's just something you do. So let history begin with me. If nobody's ever told you, if you've never heard it, it always gives wet dog on a hot, sunny Florida day. Go with God.
How many times a week is the average person showering?
Well, it's 7 days in a week, so 7 at the minimum.
Because I understand you're only supposed to wash your hair like 2 or 3 times a week, and...
Excuse me? See, this is why I always say, white folks, some of you liberals are never beating allegations. So when they say stuff, sometimes they be true, the EBT community, that is. Because some of y'all play right into that shit.
So I probably wash my hair once to twice a week. But then here's the kicker, and I don't want any judgment because it's a judgment-free zone, because this is TikTok.
This is not Planet Fitness. We are judging you.
I shower about twice a week.
I shower twice a day. Twice a week.
And look, I think I look fine.
You may look fine. How do you smell? The smell part is the problem that we have with the lack of showering or bathing at that.
how often are we showering? Just like, can y'all be honest with me, level with me? Like, what do I need to fix this?
You should shower every day, at least once a day, preferably twice a day. I hope this helps.
Hi lovelies, how you all doing? Welcome back again to my channel. In case you're just seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Olivia and thank you for stopping by. So family, let's talk about what has been trending since few days. A white woman went viral saying black people have better hygiene because we were once enslaved, called dirty, and that is why black people bathe every day. That's ridiculous, right? Meanwhile, she says she only bathes twice a week. Now, here is the problem. That kind of statement reduces an entire culture to trauma. Yes, slavery created ugly stereotypes about black people being unclean, but our hygiene, our self-care, our pride didn't just come from survival. It comes from culture, from tradition, from love for ourselves, right? And let's be real, when a white woman says she only showers twice a week, people laugh, right? Some even call it quirky. But if a black person said the same thing, society would flip it into an insult. That's privilege right there. The truth is, cleanliness is not cultural, it's personal. But racism made it cultural by weaponizing the idea of dirtiness against black people. And for her to say she bathes 2 times a week, that's there so crazy, like she's so dirty. Okay? And that's what her comment completely missed. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and of course support the channel by subscribing to the channel. Let's keep watching, guys.
And I think that it became embedded in that culture to always be clean and fresh, etc. You think about people of brown or black skin working in fields, working as slaves, etc. Whereas white people were never told that unless they were like of a lower class or like blue collar worker.
This all started by this lady coming and making a video saying that she only bathes herself 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm sure you can guess what the comments were like. So her logic is that black people have better hygiene and cleaning routines because we're used to being dirty from working in the fields. Specifically, darker toned black folks are apparently used to being told that their skin is dirty, so they clean themselves more, I guess, so their skin's not dirty. So her excuse to being dirty is to pull black folks into it and bring up slavery because that's why we have better hygiene routines. It sounds so stupid when I say this out of my mouth. I can't even make it make sense to even explain to y'all. To be in the year of 2025 and say that racism is not alive and well, you're delusional as fuck because it's clear as day. I can't even make this up. And at first I'm like, am I being rage baited right now? This has to be rage bait, but no. This lady is standing 10 toes down on the fact that cleanliness is cultural. And it makes sense to her because her dad is a 6'4" white British man who only showered once a week and had never been called dirty in his entire life. I guarantee you that man had been called dirty once or twice. Are y'all okay? Cause anyway, I just had to share that because I'm so befuddled anyway.
I don't know why this conversation is spinning the block again about certain people not taking baths regularly. We already know that some of them don't. Like a lot of them. And that ain't no shade to the ones that do, okay? I don't want y'all coming in my comments, oh, I take baths. Okay. But for the ones who don't think adults should be taking baths every single day, you need to get your brain checked. Because what are you talking about? You do know that your skin cells build up, like your dead skin cells build up and you have to exfoliate, right? You do know that you need to be like washing your private areas, especially if you're number 2ing every day. You should be washing it. So I don't understand. What are you talking about? You take a shower twice a week. Say what? So you're only washing the crack of your butt twice a week? You only wipe it in between the folds of your china twice a week? Your underarms twice a week? As often as you brush your teeth is how often you should be washing your body, at least. So in the morning and at night. Everybody don't take more than 1 shower a day. But at the least, you should be taking once a day. A shower once a day. Like, how do you go out in the world being exposed to the dirty air, dirty bathrooms, other dirty people sneezing and coughing and doing all of this stuff, and you get home and lay in your bed? I assume that y'all also sit on your bed in your outside clothes too, because I can't make it make sense why y'all think that that's okay. Like, what? You don't take a shower every day? You feel okay not taking a shower every day? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
This is like for white women. White women, you're doing way too less. And when I say you're doing way too less, I mean bathing. I have seen so many people on this app today and yesterday talking about how often they bathe, how often they take a shower. Some of you are showering twice a week. Are you serious? And then you have black women that are coming into the comments saying, are you for real? Like, black women, as it would seem, bathe every day. People sweat out up to a pint of sweat every day. This does not mean that you are at the gym and you're lifting weights or you're running or you're doing a triathlon or whatever. This is just living. You sweat from your feet. You sweat from your underarms. You sweat from your nether regions and from behind your neckline and under your boobs. And if you're a guy, you sweat under your junk. The woman that started this whole conversation, I think her name is Eve, she was saying how she showers twice a week. I don't really work out at the gym. I just do Pilates. If you do Pilates, you're working out. If you have like a super sensitive skin, or you have psoriasis or something like that that would prevent you from taking a hot shower every day, at least get a face cloth with soap on it and wash all your private bits. You might not think that you smell, but you smell. Not to mention, but it feels so nice at the end of the day, or if you shower in the beginning of the day to kind of wake you up. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I'll just do a quick military shower. I'll scrub up, and then I might not do my hair. I might actually put my hair up in like a clip or something and cover my hair so I don't have to do my hair. But your hair is the exception to like the rule. Go take a shower.
How many times a week is the average person showering? Because I understand you're only supposed to wash your hair like 2 or 3 times a week. And so I probably wash my hair once to twice a week. But and here's the kicker, and I don't want any judgment because it's a judgment-free zone because this is TikTok. I shower about twice a week.
It gets to a point. You're a hazard to society. I think people like this who lack personal hygiene think everyone around them cannot smell them. We can smell you. I think it's like literally my pet peeve, my biggest pet peeve on earth. And I just want to be like the president of personal hygiene, because what do you mean? And this is where parenting comes in. Like, you can blame her because yes, she's an adult and she should know better. But also, what was your mother doing? What did your mother do for 18 years? She didn't teach you to shower? I just remember, like, if I didn't shower past like 11 a.m., I was getting a beating. I was getting a whooping. What do you mean you shower twice a week as an adult? And you came online and told the world that. You opened your mouth and told the world that you only shower twice a week. Anyway, for the rest of us, who knows that we're supposed to shower daily, twice a day if you can, okay? My African black soap. You live in a first world country. Showers are free. Personal hygiene is free. You can learn it on social media. But glowy skin to look like this? You gotta get my African black soap in my TikTok shop. It's great for acne. It's great for keratosis pilaris. It's great for eczema. It's great for hyperpigmentation. It's great for psoriasis, which I used to have scalp psoriasis. You can use it for your hair, your body, everything. You can use it for every single part of your body, your face, your hair, and your full body. Mothers, teach your children personal hygiene.
You're creating hazards all around the world. We have to work with those kind of people. We have to be in the same vicinity as them, and we have to hold our breath. How's that fair? Bye. African Black Soap in my TikTok shop.
A woman got on the internet and said that she doesn't shower every day. And by that information alone, you can tell who I'm talking about. Now, the comments, rightfully so, were cooking her shit up like it was a Labor Day cookout. What took me for a loop is that she came back and doubled down and said hygiene was a cultural thing. She was saying that back during slavery, black people were always told they were dirty. That's why it's always been in our nature to, clean twice, just because of that stigma. Never mind the fact that I'm pretty sure Asian people and Latin people know to shower every fucking day. Let's not leave the matter to good hygiene conversation. Shorty, if you believe that good hygiene is a cultural thing, I implore you, please appropriate our culture. Please, it's okay. Look, it's all right. It's okay. Just go ahead and do it. I promise you, we will not judge you. We will let this piece of cultural appropriation slide. Just get in that fucking shower, caca.
Cleanliness is cultural, not reactive. Now, there was a creator on here, bless her heart, I don't think she meant any harm, who was having a conversation around hygiene as it relates to the Black community. And one of the things that she mentioned, or some of the things that she mentioned, was that she felt maybe Black people, culturally, we are so hygienic because once upon a time we were perceived as dirty. Now, again, no hate to her, but conversations like this can be dangerous because it's the accidental erasure of the truth. And what people have to know and understand is that cleanliness is a part of our cultures because we're not a monolith. So Black and Afro indigenous cultures across the globe, it's a part of various cultures, religions, and spiritual beliefs, okay? The Moors had bathhouses, okay? We have African Black Soap. We have several meetings down at the rivers, whether it's a Southern Baptist church, a hoodoo practitioner, a practitioner of Oshun, and the Orishas. Water is very, very significant, and cleanliness is next to godliness, is a belief that we have. And it's a part of even the Islamic faith. Now, for us to assume that Black people are only clean because of this perception that we're trying to escape of being dirty, the reason why it's so dangerous, as I mentioned, it's erasure, but it's you not acknowledging the truth. And again, you may not know the truth, so that means that maybe you be quiet and listen, or you ask the questions and say, hey, why is it this way? Maybe it's something, that's more reflective of your culture. But people have to understand our cultural practices are our cultural practices. They have nothing to do, a lot of times, with what anybody else has going on or doesn't have going on. And sometimes they do. Sometimes where we were and what we were dealing with impacted the way that we showed up, the way that we worship, the way that we tended to ourselves and our families or anything. And I'm thinking about making this a mini series because I absolutely love history and literature. So I think I am going to kind of break down cleanliness in the Black and African diaspora. So I love y'all, baby. I hope this helps, and I hope you learned something today. Peace.
Y'all did not have to do that girl like that. Y'all literally kept me up last night till almost 5 a.m. If you don't know what I'm talking about, last night I ended up on cleanliness TikTok, and apparently this girl posted a video saying that she only showers 1 to 2 times a week. And the way y'all ate her up, my algorithm was on cleanliness TikTok for hours last night. The videos were so funny. Like, I couldn't stop watching. I couldn't stop scrolling, and could not stop engaging. It was so funny. And it even got to the point that other people were commenting and making videos. And their videos were like, yeah, but I do shower daily. It even got to the point that people with like PhDs and like master's degrees were making comments about how to clean your body and giving a full history lesson online. Like, if y'all haven't seen this, just go to cleanliness TikTok, type in cleanliness on TikTok. I had it last night. I had it.
Baby, y'all argue with these people about showering and bathing. It seems like semi-annually this conversation comes around. Me, I don't argue. People who allow their pets to sleep in their bed and lay on their furniture, you know, in their kitchen, I don't argue with them about hygiene. Because if you will allow a dog, a cat, any pet who goes and runs around outside, steps and poops, steps and pees, walk around, people peeing, spitting, pooping. I'm in California. It's a lot of unhoused. It's nasty outside. So if a dog who can run around outside and then come and lay in your bed, on your pillow, on your couch, if you will allow that, I'm not about to argue with you about bathing every day. For what? Why? Why would you take a bath when your dog who just came from outside is rolling around in your bed? For what? What you need a bath for?
I just saw someone on TikTok say they only take a shower twice a week. I'm sorry, but unless you literally do not have access to running water or you are like disabled of some kind, there is no reason that you are not showering every single day. Maybe the occasional you don't shower one day, but you should be showering every single day. Like that is just insane if you are not showering every day. And to come on TikTok and tell on yourself, you're telling on yourself. That is crazy. And as a white person myself, I can promise you that not all of us are like that, because that is insane. The white people that I know are taking showers. What?
As someone who showers every day, I'm really sick and tired of everyone acting like they don't have an occasional skip day, or acting like someone who showers every other day is dirty. Every other day is probably perfectly fine, especially if you're not that active. It's really an odd, interesting character study, the superiority complex that the Hygiene Olympics makes people have. I rarely, if ever, encounter someone where I'm like, oh my God, I must question the frequency of their showers. It's really something that only exists online for me, personally. And on the extremely rare occasion I maybe have encountered some stank, I'm like, oh well, I'll live. Shit happens. It's just so mean girl, it's so bully, this conversation every single time. I also would like to reiterate, present a rebuttal to the performative cleanliness warriors. If you have to shower 2 times a day, every single day, 3 times a day, some of you, allegedly, is it not the logical conclusion to think that you guys are the dirty ones? If that's what you have to do to maintain an equilibrium with your scent.
It's crazy to me that some people don't shower every day. Some people don't even shower every other day. I used to know someone in college who didn't shower every day. She showered like every 2 days or sometimes even every 3 days. And her reasoning was because like she didn't work out and normally she wasn't really like a very sweaty person. So she didn't feel like she needed to. And I can kind of understand like if you're not physically sweating, like maybe you don't feel super dirty, but it's like, do you go to the bathroom? Like, do you go outside? Especially like living in a city, it's like in New York City of all cities, it's like you go outside, it's like who knows what you're exposed to. Or even like every day I put sunscreen on, so it's like if nothing else I want to wash that off. But this person I knew who didn't shower every day, she would like go to the club and then not shower that night, not shower the next day. Her boyfriend was the same way though, so I was like, at least you have each other. And I know there is like a community out there who's like, I don't need to shower every day, like I'll show them. I just think it's like, if nothing else, did you sit on a toilet today? Okay, you should probably shower. And I know there's gonna be comments like, well, I'm depressed, so I can't shower. Please spare me, this doesn't apply to you. I mean, at the end of the day, do whatever you want, like I don't really care, but me personally, I'm showering every day.
Here are some of my hygiene hot takes, which I didn't think I had to make this video, but because a woman decided to get on TikTok saying she only showers twice a week, I felt the need to come on here and talk about my hygiene hot takes, which I don't believe should be hot takes. Number 1. I don't care if you have laid in bed all day. I do not care if the only place you've walked to is the kitchen to get a cup of water. You should be showering every single day. Our bodies just naturally produce dirt, naturally produce oils. We sweat. Even though you think you're not sweating during the day, you can sweat in your sleep. Also, if I have to sit here and justify as an adult why you should be showering every single day, you have a problem. My next hygiene hot take is I double cleanse my body just like I double cleanse my face. I use an oil cleanser on my face, then I use a regular cleanser. For my body, I use a bar soap and then I'll use a body wash. For some reason, I don't physically feel clean unless I'm using a bar soap and a body wash. Number 3, body lotion, body butter, whatever should be applied after every shower. People will always compliment my body and be like, wow, your skin is so soft. What do you do? Lotion. Number 4, and I used to be somebody who never did this, but flossing your teeth is actually pretty important and it's good for overall dental health and you must do it every single day. And if you continuously floss every single day, it will not hurt. And if it is still hurting in one specific spot, you probably have a cavity. Number 5, I can't even also believe I have to say this, you should be changing your sheets once a week. The amount of dead skin, hair, dirt, bacteria, and oil that sit in your sheets, disgusting. Please change them once a week. I was talking to a guy like forever ago and he told me he only changes the sheets once a month. Safe to say, I stopped talking to him and I was like, I will not be going 10 feet within your room. Thank you.
I am so thankful that some of us white people are finally starting to realize our collective lack of basic hygiene knowledge. But with that being said, I do think we're gonna need a little bit more than just awareness to solve this problem. The reason I bring this up is because recently I saw the true extent to this problem. A white person so stinky, it shook me to my core, and I fear that this is not an outlier. Now, for context, the person in question is my friend, and we occasionally go to the gym together, but he doesn't want to pay for a gym membership, so I let him come to my apartment because there's a gym here. Normally, after we're done working out and we're all stinky and sweaty, we split ways, and I assume that he goes home and showers like I do. But this one day, my dear friend had a date to go on, and for some reason, he wanted to get a pump in before his date. So he asked me, oh, can I use your shower because I don't have much time before my date? Of course, I said sure. So we get done working out and we go back up to my apartment. And for some reason this day we were like especially rank. But because he had a date to get to, I let him shower first and I kind of just waited around. But I was not waiting for long. This man got out of the shower like comedically quickly. It was like maybe a minute, if not 30 seconds. So I kind of jokingly was like, oh, that was quick. My friend responds, well, I did the upside down triangle. I'm just like, the what? He goes on to tell me, you know, both pits and nunu, as if it was common knowledge. I was just racking my brain. I was like, what about your, and the wildest part in my opinion is he was really excited to go on this date. Like he really liked this girl. Yeah, this problem's big. We got a whole language around being unclean.
We need to say the truth. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. The entire history of Europe is a story of people refusing to wash their asses while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship so much. Medieval and early modern Europeans. People so filthy they were literally scared of water. They believed that bathing opened the pores and let in disease, so instead of washing, they simply wiped themselves down with dry rags and perfume. Imagine thinking water is bad for you while living in streets filled with feces and piss. Doctors warned against bathing, saying that it was too stimulating and would weaken the body. Instead, they told people to rub themselves with dry powders or just change their linens and call it a day. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, bathed twice in his entire life. Let that sink in. The most powerful man in Europe smelled like a rotting corpse dipped in cologne. Queen Isabella of Spain also bragged about only bathing twice in her entire life. These people ruled empires while literally festering in their own filth. You want to call other people savages? Let's talk about their hygiene habits, or lack thereof. They didn't wash their clothes. They just aired them out like letting filth touch fresh air was some kind of magical cleaning method. They slept in lice-infested beds and wore the same sweat-soaked, piss-stained clothing for weeks or months at a time. Queen Elizabeth I bragged about only changing her undergarments once a month. Her whole palace must have smelled like a backed-up sewer. Their mouths? A disaster. Europeans didn't brush their teeth. At all. By the time they were 30, their mouths were full of blackened, rotting stumps. King James I of England's breath was so bad, people would write him letters telling him how unbearable it was to be near him. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, indigenous Americans, Africans, and Asians were bathing daily, cleaning their teeth with herbs, and wearing fresh clothes. But Europeans pulled up smelling like roadkill and still had the audacity to call everyone else dirty. Let's talk about the cities you love to glorify. Paris, London, and Rome. These places were open cesspools. People threw their shit and piss into the streets because they didn't have proper sewage systems. London's Thames River was literally so full of human waste that it became toxic. In 1858, the Parliament had to shut down because of the stench, called the Great Stink, was so unbearable. Paris? Just as bad. The streets were covered with garbage, excrement, and dead animals. It was so bad that the air itself was dangerous to breathe. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, the Aztecs had running water, street cleaners, and aqueducts bringing fresh water into the city. So tell me again, who are the real savages? But let's not pretend this filth is just in the past. White people are still dirty today. You have to be convinced to wash your legs in the shower. Doctors are telling you to wash your damn feet because so many of you think that you can just let the water trickle down and that's enough. The 2020s exposed how many white celebrities don't bathe daily. Ashton Kutcher, Kristen Bell, Jake Gyllenhaal, all proudly claiming they don't shower unless they see dirt. White parents are still proudly saying that they only bathe their kids when they start to smell. Imagine raising the next generation of walking biohazards. You normalized wearing outside clothes to bed, spreading whatever germs you caught from the outside world directly onto your sheets. You go to bed without washing your hands, your face, or brushing your teeth, and wonder why your skin looks like a medieval battlefield. Meanwhile, Black, Latino, Asian, and indigenous cultures have always prioritized hygiene. Africans were using shea butters, scented oils, and natural soaps before Europeans even knew what soap was. Indigenous Americans bathed in rivers daily using herbal cleansers. South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures developed some of the earliest bathhouses, perfumes, and skincare regimens. Latinos are known for showering twice a day and keeping their homes spotless. And yet, white people still have the nerve to act like they invented civilization. The reality? You have never been clean. Your ancestors weren't clean. Your great-grandparents weren't clean. Your hygiene habits, questionable at best. Cope.